Snitches get stitches. I mean, wait, it's not what I mean. Riches are in the niches. That's what I meant. Okay, so in my first two videos, I gave a brief overview of becoming a notary signing agent and just a general introduction to my channel. And now I would like to start a series of videos detailing the steps it takes to become a notary public and a notary signing agent. I feel like a lot of videos on YouTube on these subjects, they kind of glamorize being a signing agent a little bit too much. A lot of times without really going into details on the negatives or the real life, things that can happen in real life. So I want to be real on the subject and incorporate that into my videos as well, so my viewers can make a better decision on whether or not they think this path is right for them. I plan to go into great detail about all aspects of the notary public line of work. I'm excited to share what I've learned and share my experiences. And I'm never going to charge for this information. You can get it right here on my YouTube channel for free. So please subscribe for this information that I'm going to drop if you haven't already. So yeah, I just wanted to share the things that motivated me to get in this line of work, so maybe it can help others in the future. Everyone lives a hard life. If you're human, you've had to deal with all kinds of troubles. I mean, that's just life. When I was younger, I had a pretty damn rough upbringing, in my opinion. Dirt poor, no heat or AC in the house most of the time. No cable TV, holes in the floor with animals coming through the floor, the electricity and water getting shut off for months at a time, living with rats and roaches and living off of ramen noodles for days at a time. And I lived in a fairly dangerous ghetto neighborhood, I would say. Not the worst and far from the best. Went to pretty rough schools. Where kids were getting jumped into gangs and underage girls were getting pregnant and getting jumped on the bus and losing their babies, all kind of crazy stuff like that. That was my big part of my childhood. I've seen people get stabbed to death and get shot. A lot of the kids that I went to school with ended up in prison or dead. Me and one of my best friends were actually thinking of making a book about our lives, actually. We started on it, but we haven't finished it. It's a miracle that I made it out alive and not a felon or in prison or whatever. I know a lot of people that I've been very, very close with pass away. And so what I'm trying to get at is I never saw college as a valid option for me growing up. That's just the way things were. I actually dropped out of high school and after the 9th grade and didn't go back in the 10th, and I had to pursue my high school diploma later on in life by myself. And so not having gone to college, I went straight to work at age 17. I've worked low-paying, dead-end jobs all my life. I'm 40 years old now. I'm used to working crazy hours overnight. A lot of times over 70 hours a week, just trying to survive and pay bills, and that's been the bulk of my life. So for me to learn of an opportunity like being a loan signing agent, where I could make my own hours, work for myself, make good money doing it, without a degree, intrigued me greatly. So I could actually work less hours and still make more money than what I was making. If I want to work a day and take a day off, I can. If I want to work a week and take a week off, I can. If I want to work hard for a straight month and take a whole month off, I can do that, being a notary signing agent. It's amazing. It's extremely flexible, and that is a truth about this line of work. Everyone's situation is different. They might not be able to take a month off, but let's get into the money a little bit. I feel like a lot of people are endorsing being a notary signing agent. They're really kind of staying on the high side of what you can earn and not really getting into the nitty-gritty details of it. For one, most title companies mail you a check for each signing that you do. and it could take a month or longer to receive, and some people run into situations where they don't even get paid for a signing and they have to, you know, fight for the check basically. It's not, I don't think that's very common, but it has happened. You know, that might not be for everyone, having to wait that long for a check, but after you put some time into being a signing agent and you get the ball rolling and get past that first month, you know, you'll have checks coming in if you're working frequently. For everyone, at first it's going to be slow. The more experience you gain, the more relationships you build, and the more work you'll start receiving. You know, that's why I think it's best for people to kind of do this as a side hustle at first, or a part-time job, until the ball gets rolling and maybe they can replace their main job or whatever you want to do, whatever you plan to do. As far as the exact pay goes, it varies wildly. You know, there's many things that factor in on pay, so it's hard to give anyone a specific number. I'd like to say it's roughly $100 an hour per work. And that's really just a loose estimate. The more pages that are in a loan package, the more you're going to get paid. I've seen offers of $30 for small loan packages that are nearby, and I've seen offers of $200 for large packages, you know, that they require you to print them yourself, hundreds and hundreds of papers yourself, and scan back to the client. So it's good to have the equipment. You really need to have the equipment to do all that. If you're working for a signing company that gets you the signings, they're going to take a cut. A lot of them, it's upwards of 30% per signing for getting you work. But signing companies, I think, are great for beginners to get experience, but it's less money. The money still isn't bad, though, in my opinion. You know, you can still easily make, a lot of people just work for signing companies because they get them so much volume that you're still making good money, and it's worth it. So yeah, the money still isn't bad, even after the signing company's cut. You know, it just all depends. Pay depends on various factors. Potentially, if you're a full-time signing agent and you score, say, 5 signings per day, 5 days a week, you can easily make over $100K per year. To me, that's great money. To others, it might not be, but I don't think I've ever made $100,000K a year yet. So that's possible with this job. I hate to even call it a job because it's there's so much freedom that you know, it is a profession. Hardworking full-time signers can bring in a lot of money. I could do it part-time and it's still decent money to me. I could live off of it part-time and make what I was working full-time, and you know, that alone is worth it to me. And speaking of money, I just wanted to reiterate and touch on general notary work real quick. My last video mentioned that it didn't pay very well. There are instances where you can make a living off of being general notary work. People have done it, you know, for a long time. I don't think it's really for me, but I wouldn't snooze on general notary work completely. You might just add that as another income source as you do this. I've slowed down on it myself, though. While we're talking about money, you know, I spoke about some of the other opportunities that you can do being a notary public, such as field inspections and remote online notary work and things like that. The remote online notary work is a pretty cool thing because you can work from your house, you know, on your computer. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to risk getting sick or spend your gas money, you know, all of these things. Once you get set up on it, it's a little bit of a process, but it's not too terrible. Well, here in Texas, you have to get a separate notary commission, an online notary commission, and then of course you have to sign up for, there's various online companies. I'm starting with notarize.com personally, just because they find the clients for you. I was looking into some other ones. I think the other one was One Notary that I was looking at. At first, you have to bring your own clients in. Sorry, my eyes itching.
Even my bags have bags.
Yeah, I wanted to find a platform that would bring me business. I mean, you could literally log on. Once you're set up, you complete a test notarization with them, you know, go through the whole thing, get set up. You basically log on whenever you want, and calls come in, and then you do the notarizations, and you get a minimum of $5 for each one, sometimes a little bit more, just depends how many seals you have to use, and etc. I believe they've even started doing loan packages themselves, and it's like $25 a pop after you do so many. So basically you sit there in the comfort of your own home. You know, you still want to look decent and have a decent backdrop, probably, because people are going to be seeing you video. It's video calls, face to face with people, and you know, you can do the online notaries in like 5 to 10 minutes each. You know, maybe a little bit slower when you're first starting out, but that's still $5 for every 10 minutes. You know, seems like work is pretty solid on there. You know, even if it's not $5 every 10 minutes, to me, if I do just 4 an hour, that's $20 an hour. That's good enough for me. But typically, I think you'll be doing more than that. I mean, you could be making upwards of like $40 an hour. You know, just again, it varies. But I'm personally going to be supplementing my loan signings with the Ron remote online notary work, and see how that goes. That's, you know, while I'm waiting for signings to come in and whatnot, I can be at home making money. I think it pays bi-weekly, but I think there's a way that they're going to let you get paid daily or weekly. I have to look into that, but so you don't have to wait a month like you would the loan signings. So I guess that's about all I wanted to talk about today. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate the support, and see you next time. We can both level up.